In this video, we're going to examine Crawford Creek Trail, the activities on the trail, the general trail conditions, the 3D map of the terrain, the strengths and weaknesses of the trail, and a look at the stop motion animation of the trail. The time stops in this video will be listed in the description for each of these chapters. On the Crawford Creek Trail, hiking, mountain biking, skiing, and snowshoeing are good activities. However, there are no campsites on the trail. The general trail description of the Crawford Creek Trail: it is a 5-kilometer trail one way or 10 kilometers return, but there are ways to extend that, and we'll talk about that later. The general conditions: the trail is generally dry. There's a few low spots here and there, but it's really good. After a heavy rain, water will run down the trail though. The slope is uphill. So here's a graph showing the elevation of the trail from the parking lot through to the warming shelter. There's about an elevation gain of 240 meters, which is fairly high for trails off the main highway, Highway 10. And the trail difficulty is rated as medium by Parks Canada. The Crawford Creek Trail is rated as moderate, and Parks Canada describes moderate in this way: suitable for most visitors who have some basic trail experience and basic experience in their chosen activity and are generally prepared. May experience moderate elevation gain with some short, steep sections. Okay, here is a 3D map of the terrain. This red ball, we'll just pretend that's a person, and that is at the trailhead of Crawford Creek. This white line running down the middle here is Highway 10. That Highway 10 runs through the park, which we'll show you right away here. And we'll just watch this red ball go up the trail. So this is a 3D model of the terrain surrounding the trail. The elevation has been exaggerated 10 times just so it'll show all the little details of the landscape here. So we'll just hit play. And you'll see the trail runs up the ridge to the left of Highway 10 and just to the right of that ravine. Now here is an overhead view, and it's the same thing, just the trail just runs up that ridge. And the trail runs up the ridge until it hits the warming shelter. And there we go. Right, hi everybody. Let's look at the Crawford Creek Trail strengths and weaknesses. So the first strength is proximity. It is right off Highway 10, a provincial highway. It's located about 17 minutes a drive south of Dauphin on the north end of the park, or about a 40-minute drive from Wasagaming at Clear Lake at the south end of the park. So it's easily accessible for both ends on the main highway. The second strength is the parking lot. It has many trailhead connections from there, and there's a number of amenities at the parking lot. All right, let's zoom into the trailhead here. Here's the parking area just off Highway 10. Lots of parking. There's a map of the area on this trail board, and the Crawford Creek Trail just goes to the right of that map, follows the bush line here, and then enters the bush there. Parking lot amenities include a bathroom with toilet paper, recycling and garbage containers, and there's a map of the area on the wooden structure at the parking lot. It also has access to several trails: the Crawford Creek Trail, the Edwards Creek Trail, and the Broadleaf Trailhead. So you can see you can extend your trip from Crawford Creek by going down the old Crawford Creek section, heading southeast, which would be 10 kilometers in and then 10 kilometers out. You can also extend it by connecting to the Broadleaf Trail, which is 4.2 kilometers, and that connects to the Beach Ridges Trail, which is about 3.5 kilometers. Or you can go on the west side of the highway on the Edwards Creek Trail, which is about 5.5 kilometers. And that will take you to the Northgate Trail system, which has about 26 kilometers of loop trails on the north end of the park. So there's a lot of diversity of choices from the Crawford Creek parking lot trailhead. There's a warming shelter with wood at the end of the maintained trail, 5 kilometers. This is a handy shelter for skiing in the winter. In winter, it is packed and tracked regularly, and you can ski up this warming shelter and enjoy a nice warm break. It has a wood stove, axe and wood supply. There's a bathroom with toilet paper and a logbook, so you can see who has signed in there and written about their adventures. And this is about 5 kilometers from the trailhead. As for weaknesses, there's just 2 ones that you should be aware of. There is no water on the trail. It means you're going to have to bring water for you and your pets. And this is not a sightseeing trail. It's basically a 5-kilometer trail hiking up a ridge in the bush. So don't expect any sightseeing opportunities. But there is one at the end of the old Crawford Creek Trail, which is 10 kilometers in and then 10 kilometers out, a 20-kilometer return. And that's where this picture is taken from. It's near the edge of the escarpment.